What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm so excited that you guys came to join me today. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. In today's video, we are over in San Sequoia and I am building townhouses, and they are very colorful townhouses. I absolutely love doing builds like this. I think it is so fun, and I really hope you do enjoy it. Of course, if you do, please leave a like on the video. It tells me that you did enjoy this video and you would like to see other builds just like this one. And it also helps the algorithm kick it out to other simmers. Also, subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below what your favorite part of today's build is. I really enjoy reading your comments and hearing from you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that takes the time to watch my videos, comment, like, and also subscribe. You guys are so awesome, and I really can't thank you enough. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get back into today's build. So like I was saying, these are colorful townhouses, as you could tell from the thumbnail. I love doing builds like this. I just really love colorful builds. Like, that is what I love to do. I do my fair share of not so colorful builds, but if I had to choose one that I only did, you know, like all I could do was this one build, it would probably be colorful homes. Whether that's townhouses, apartments, regular suburban houses, doesn't really matter. I just love doing colorful builds. I think it is so fun. Especially colorful townhouses. This is not the first time I've done colorful townhouses or anything of like the sort. I've done colorful row houses once before on my channel. That was actually the very first video I posted on my YouTube channel. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want to go back and hear what I sounded like in my very first video, and if you wanted to see the colorful row houses, definitely go check it out. Like I said, it's the very first video, so it should not be too hard to find. It actually turned out very good. I don't know how my voiceover is, so keep that in mind. It was my first video, so yes, keep that in mind, please. But I think the build came out really good. I think it still looks good to this day. My building style really hasn't changed too much. I've only been doing this for about a year, maybe a little bit over a year, like a year and a half. So with that being said, not a lot of time lapse in between, so it's pretty similar still. But this build is totally different than that one. That one, they were row homes, and so they were not attached to one another. These are townhouses, and so these are in fact attached. And it was really important for me to have these attached just because I wanted them to be true townhouses. And each one, of course, is a different color. And I did not furnish all four of these, so I will go ahead and let you guys know that right off the bat. These all four are not furnished, but I did furnish one, and I kind of was indecisive on which color I wanted to furnish because I wanted to stick with that same color on the inside as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, if I could go back, then I would probably go ahead and furnish at least one other, maybe two other ones, and leave one unfurnished so that it's easier for you guys when you do download it. Then you can just furnish the one that you want and play in that one. And if you have townies move into the others, then it's already done and furnished for you. But I did only furnish one. And the one that I furnished was actually the yellow one, which is an interesting choice of mine. I usually go for like blue, and my second choice would be like green. But I don't know, something about the yellow was kind of speaking to me, and so I ended up furnishing the yellow, and I think it turned out super cute. I furnished it for a single mom and her teen daughter, so each of these are only 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So I really wanted to do that because I feel like that is like a true townhouse. Not a lot of townhouses are more than 2 bedrooms. If they are, then it's like 3, but they're relatively small bedrooms. And so I just kept it 2 bedrooms, and they're a little bit on the larger side. I don't know. Those row houses that I did, I made them more like a 4-bedroom. And I had some people telling me that they're super cute, but they're a little bit hard to play in. Or no, that wasn't the row houses. That was actually the colorful beach houses that I did. So that's another build that I did on my channel. I built some colorful like beach townhouses over in Tortosa, and those were the ones that I ended up doing like 3 or 4 bedrooms, and they were really small bedrooms, and people were saying that it was super cute but super hard to play in because of how small the bedrooms really were. So I did not want to make that mistake this time. I really like to build things that are playable for you guys, and so I decided just to stick with the 2. So these definitely are for 2 sim households, maybe 3 sims if you have like 2 parents and a child. So these are really good for like starter houses. I would say that if you're a sim just starting out, these are probably perfect. Which kind of leads me to say that if you are just starting out and you have a starter sim and you're using this as like a starter house, or starter townhouse should I say, then having the unfurnished ones are probably perfect so that you can go and furnish with the remaining simoleons that you have. Because I'm going to be 100% honest, when I furnish my builds, for the most part, unless it's a starter home, I do not keep track of the money. So that yellow one is probably not starter territory at all. I mean, it might be. I don't play with apartments too much, so I don't know the whole like pricing system along with it, but I furnished the crap out of it, okay? For lack of better words, I suppose. And so, yeah, it's probably not starter territory. So the other ones that are remaining with no furniture in there whatsoever, those would be perfect for you guys to choose from when you do move in with the starter sim. But on another note, we pretty much have the exterior done, at least to the point of where we know where I'm headed. So I have like the little like toddler stuff pack fencing in the front. I absolutely love that fencing. I think it is so adorable, and I kind of want that for my house in real life. I don't know. I think it's super cute. And then as far as the windows go, I'm using the regular windows that we got in the most recent base game update. And they're very basic, but I kind of love that for this version of build. And then I wanted some sort of like shutters on the windows. And of course, those windows do not come with shutters. And so I took advantage of the shutters from Horse Ranch, which yes, they are country shutters, which, you know, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense with the style build, but with the white swatch, it's like such a bright white that you really cannot even tell that they're kind of country style. And so I think it works really well. And I also have a different color of flower box or window box, whatever they're called, on each of the townhouses. I kind of tried to make them match the best with the color townhouse that we have there. And I also did a different swatch of staircase and wood on each of the front porches. And so they're obviously exactly the same, but I wanted them to be different in certain parts. And so having a little bit of difference with how similar they are, I feel like makes it look really good, to be honest. And I also have an open part on the side, so that kind of happened by accident, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that area yet. I could have, well, this time I figured it out, but in the beginning when I first started building it, I did not know what I wanted to do there, and I almost thought about just leaving it blank, to be honest, but I feel like that's a little bit boring. And so I decided to add like a sidewalk. I know there is a sidewalk right next to that sidewalk, okay? But that's more of like the public sidewalk. It almost looks like the street in a way. It's not really the street now that I'm looking at it. It's more of like just a large pavement for people to go and explore. So the sidewalk that I ended up using in my mind is just for these apartments, the residents in these apartments, and they can walk down that sidewalk and head to the back area, and they have back fences as well, but this is just something I needed to put there, to be honest. So like what I was thinking was they could use that sidewalk to go in the back and go to the dumpster, or they could leave their back fence and they have a sidewalk to go into the front area. So it's just a little extra sidewalk that I feel like was kind of useful, and they're also able to go right outside of their back fence or back gate, and they have the most beautiful view of the bay in San Sequoia. At least I'm assuming that's the bay. It looks like a bay to me. And so I think that's super cute though, that they have such a good view. And anywhere in the back is going to have that beautiful view, to be honest. So each of the bedrooms are on the top floor. And in each of the townhouses, I made the spare bedroom have the view of the bay because I wasn't really thinking, honestly. I wasn't thinking about the view, to be honest. And so I really should have done that as the master probably, but it's just how the floor plan laid out, to be honest. As you can see, I kind of had no choice. This was the only layout I could think of because I wanted to give the master bedroom their master bathroom, and then there's another bathroom downstairs that the guests and the other Sam in the house can use. So whoever has the spare bedroom has the best view of the whole townhouse. Other than the balcony, they do each have a balcony, and the balcony is in the hallway, so it's not tied down to anyone's room, which was very important to me. I could have put the door of the balcony in the master bedroom if I wanted to switch the size and give the master bedroom, you know, a better view. But I really wanted that balcony to be available to everybody. And now that I'm thinking about it, I really wish I would have put a trellis like ladder on each of the balconies just for that sneaking out storytelling purpose, but I didn't. You totally could add that if that does sound super fun and interesting for you to try out. But we are done with the floor plan on each of the inside. They do obviously have the same exact floor plan. I did that purposely because they're all the same shape. I mean, I really could not think of any other floor plan but what I have here. And so it just worked out that way. I don't really mind it. I really enjoy townhouses that have the same floor plan. I feel like that's super realistic. Obviously, not all townhouses in real life do have the same floor plan, but typically townhouses in a row like this, like for instance, I had a friend growing up who lived in Lake Carlton Arms, which is a well-known apartment complex here in Tampa. I don't know if it is a thing where you guys are at, unless you are from Tampa, but it is very well known here. So if you are from Tampa, you probably heard of it. But she lived in Lake Carlton Arms, and I swear to you, all of the townhouses by her had pretty much the same floor plan. Now, this is a child memory of mine, so I might be wrong, but as far as I can remember, they all had pretty much the same floor plan, if not very similar. So I do feel like townhouses in the same complex pretty much have one of 2 or 3 floor plans, if that makes sense. Like an apartment typically has, you know, 3 different sets of floor plans, and they kind of mix it throughout their complex. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. I really am not the best at explaining things. I'm sure if you are a returning viewer of mine, you probably know that. But yeah, anyways, that was my mindset on having the same floor plan in each of the townhouses. Now, with all that being said, I do obviously only furnish the yellow, but at this time I am at least placing the appliances in each of the townhouses. So each of the townhouses, they are not furnished with, you know, couches, beds, all of that sort of stuff, but I do put all of the kitchen like appliances and counters in there, as well as each of the bathrooms have the 3 things that are needed: a toilet, sink, and shower / tub combo. But I do believe I only do showers in this build. That's not really ideal for those of you that's trying to raise like a infant in here, but it's an easy fix. You could probably add a bathtub upstairs in the master bedroom and you'll be fine. But I really just wanted to stick with showers for some reason. I just didn't feel like squeezing in a shower tub combo. You know what I mean? Sometimes these bathrooms are super, super small, like here. But honestly, this master bedroom, you could totally fit a bathtub in here if you just rearrange the doors a little bit. So the bathrooms up here in the master bedroom actually are pretty interesting. I really like the way that I designed it, especially that little room off to the side where the window is, well, way in the back of the bathroom. I really honestly was gonna put that as like a toilet commode room. I know that has a specific name and toilet room is not it, but for some reason that's what I call it. And everybody knows what I'm talking about, so at least there's that. It might not be accurate, but you know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I was going to have that as like the toilet room, but I actually decided to put the shower in there instead, and I found like a glass door from Spa Day that I knew existed, but I forgot that it existed. And so that is like the perfect door to have as a shower door. It is all the way up to the top of the ceiling, and you'll see here in just a moment that it looks like it's meant to be that way. And so I really enjoy the way that the shower turned out in each of these townhouses. And that goes with what I was saying. If you do want to put a shower tub combo in here, you could delete that shower and the door, and you can make that the toilet room. And then, oh, yep, here, right here is where I'm adding it. At first I tried to put a spandrel, it didn't work. It made the roof clip in, but I did add a glass door from Spa Day, and I think it looks so good that way. I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but I do. I think it looks so good. It looks realistic, to be honest. But yeah, you totally could replace the toilet, put it in the shower room, and then place a tub along that wall where the sink was. And you could either not have a sink, which, you know, tends to happen sometimes, not really in real life, but in The Sims, or you might be able to place the sink far, you know, on the other side, that one singular wall that's there. You could probably place the sink there. You might have to do a smaller sink that you have to place inside the wall a little bit, but you totally could make it work and squeeze it in, and it should be fine. But at the end of the day, if you can't fit a sink, it's not the end of the world, because you have one in the kitchen and you have one in the bathroom downstairs. And this is The Sims, and, you know, diseases don't spread if your Sims don't wash their hands. You know what I mean? So just don't do that in real life, and everyone's going to be fine. But yeah, like I was saying, I do really enjoy the way that I did the shower up there. I think it looks super good. We'll talk more about it when I do furnish the inside of the yellow apartment. It kind of shows the shower a little bit better. But, oh yeah, I am starting to furnish it now. But before I talk about, you know, the Sims in this apartment and their personalities and all of that, I do want to mention that I really wanted a washer and dryer combo in this build somewhere. And I didn't think about it until it was, you know, later in the build, like just right before I started furnishing. And so I was kind of indecisive on where I wanted to put the washer and dryer. We already know these bathrooms are very tiny, so I could not fit it in there. This small one I probably could have made into a laundry room and then just had a one bathroom upstairs, but I really didn't like the thought of that. I really wanted to have two bathrooms and both with a shower in there. And so I thought about how my last build, I actually put a washer and dryer in the kitchen. And I was like, you know what? That is how I remember my friend's townhouse growing up. She had a washer and dryer in her kitchen. And she wasn't the only one that I seen that in an apartment for. I've seen that in multiple apartments / townhouses. Now, it was not like that in my apartment. It was in the kitchen, but it was kind of on the far wall of the kitchen behind like a closed, you know, door that looked like a pantry door. But we didn't have enough room for that. So I ended up just putting it in the kitchen right next to, I think, just next to that corner cabinet, which that was next to the stove. So it's not right next to the stove, which is ideal because I feel like the stove would make it overheat. So it's far enough away from the stove, but yeah, it is in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys like that or not. Let me know down in the comments if you do like your washer and dryers in the kitchen. I feel like, you know, I would hate it in real life, but in The Sims, it's really not a big deal. You know, it is what it is. It's where I could find to put it. But I am curious how you guys feel about the washer and dryer being in the kitchen. So let me know down in the comments below if you really enjoy that because it is realistic, or if you would prefer it to be in a room kind of by itself, like a laundry room sort of thing. Which I do try to do, But when you are working with a small area, you kind of just have to put it where you can find it. But we are finally furnishing the yellow townhouse, and we are getting the living room together. And like I was saying, this is for a single mom and her teen daughter. And you know, the mom, she thought she would be a little bit further in life, but after the recent divorce that she had with her husband, she kind of just gave him the house. She was tired of putting up with his, crap. And so she just wanted to, you can have the house. I'm going on my own, but I'm taking my daughter with me, sort of thing. And she was super worried that she wasn't going to be able to find a place in time. She did multiple applications at different apartments, and she got denied for a couple of them. She's not really in the best place as far as finances are concerned. She does have a job, but she's just not making as much money as she once was when she had that double income coming in. She actually works as a salary person, and so she's off at work quite often. She has a lot of work events, so her teen daughter actually finds herself being home alone quite often, which, being a teen, that's really not a bad thing. She really enjoys it. She loves her mom, don't get me wrong, but she does really enjoy having her free time at the house. She can invite her friends over, and this is kind of their hangout spot because it is mainly just them. Her mom's off at work a lot. But like I was saying, the mom was super stressed out for a couple of weeks because she did apply at several different apartments and townhouses, and she just was not getting any acceptance. But then she finally found this place in San Sequoia, and honestly, she fell in love with it. So she was just hoping and praying that she was going to get accepted for this townhouse, and she was so excited to find when she went and she toured this place, and right after she left, she actually got the call back from the managers of the apartment complex, and they said, we really feel you, we really am sorry for your situation, and we know your credit's not the best, but we just want to give you and your daughter a chance. And so we are accepting your offer, and you are able to move in as soon as you want. And so she was super ecstatic about that, as you probably would think. I know I would be. And so she went home. Her husband was out of town, or ex-husband, should I say. And so she was able to pack up all of her clothes and stuff and what furniture she wanted. She did end up leaving a lot of stuff, and so she had to come out of pocket with a lot of money to furnish this apartment. But, they do have Rent-A-Center for a reason. And so she went to Rent-A-Center, found some couches that she really liked. She found herself a bed. She did take her daughter's bed. She has her daughter, so she was not going to leave her daughter's furniture behind. So she did take everything out of her daughter's room. But as far as her bedroom and her living room furniture and dining room furniture, she did end up going to Rent-A-Center and renting a lot of this stuff, which, if you are not familiar with Rent-A-Center is like, it's almost like a rooms to go. It's a furniture store, but you can rent as you go. So you pay like a weekly or monthly fee, and as soon as you pay it off, it is yours to keep. And so that is the route she ended up going. When you're in a pinch and you need furniture, this really, honestly, Rent-A-Center is the best thing to do. If you don't have a lot of money to come out of pocket at first, Rent-A-Center is very, very helpful. But yeah, the parents of the teen, they did get divorced, and it's not necessarily a nasty divorce, I guess you could say, because they've been kind of separated for a while now. They were only together for their daughter, but it came to an abrupt end because, the mom found out that her husband/ex-husband, they were still married at the time, but they are divorced now, finally. And she found out that he did have a secret affair on the side, if you can even call it that, because like I said, they were separated, only together for their daughter, but they weren't necessarily supposed to be seeing other people. And so she found out that he was in fact seeing other people, and she just said, you know what, enough is enough, and it's time for me to move out on my own. This is not a healthy situation for our child to be in anymore, and so let's just go our separate ways. And so she decided to find an apartment, and that is where their new story began. And it definitely has been tough for the mom, but she's getting through it. Really, all she needs in this world is her daughter, and she has her daughter. The dad didn't really put up a fight. He knows teen daughters, they want to be with their moms. They really need to be with their moms, and so as long as he's able to see her on the weekends, he's fine. And so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the backstory as far as this family is concerned. Now, the teen daughter, she is actually very happy that her parents ended up getting divorced. She has seen their unhealthy relationship for the last probably 10 years or so, and so she knew it was a long time coming, and she's happy that her mom finally took the step. She was tired of seeing her mom hurt all the time, and you know, the situation is hard, you know. They fell out of love, but at the same time, they still have a child together, and so there is some love there still, and so it's just a very complicated situation, and she's seen her mom be hurt time and time again, and so she's happy that her mom finally took the steps. She still very much loves her dad, but she's a little bit mad at her dad at the moment for treating her mom the way that he did. He just, you know, seeing someone else on the side secretly, even though you're still married, you might not be in the best position, but you're still married at the end of the day. So it's still wrong what he did, and so his daughter has a little bit of a grudge for that. She hopes to work with him about that, but it's really him that needs to come to her to apologize, and so she's really waiting on that. So as you could probably tell, the mom has been very stressed out about all of this, but she does love her new shower, and she actually put a stool in there. So her happy place, she doesn't have a lot of hobbies or anything like that. She works so often, but one thing she does love when she gets home is to enjoy this new shower of hers. She actually put a stool in here, and she has a bottle of wine, and this is how she relaxes. And I did put a rose in here because I thought it was cute. It looks a little romantic, but she does not have any romantic partners on this side. It's really just her. And those two wine glasses are for her. She drinks them both at the same time. You cannot judge her. She has been through a lot, okay? So yeah, at the moment, her favorite pastime is coming home late at night, finally got off her shift. She has a lot on her mind with work and what she's going through in her life. She comes home and decompresses in the shower, drinking her wine and just hanging out in the steam of the shower and really just, you know, enjoying it. Now, as far as her bedroom, it's pretty just basic. She has the basic furniture. She does have a computer desk in here. She uses that when she does work from home on the rare occasion. Maybe she's sick, or she does take her day off for her daughter's birthday every year. And anything like that, if she takes a day off, she still has work to get done for that day, and she will come in here to her bedroom and hop on her computer and get some work done. And after that, she can do whatever it is that she needs to do for the day. Whether it's her daughter's birthday, she might take her out. If she's sick, she might just lay in bed, you know? And obviously, I am keeping the yellow theme going on through this whole townhouse. She absolutely loves the color yellow. Her daughter does not mind yellow, but she doesn't necessarily want everything to be yellow, so her room is a little bit different. She has some yellow in there, but she also has some other color notes along with it. I mean, honestly, it's mainly yellow because I really wanted to keep that yellow vibe, but she does have some pink along in there. So her favorite color is pink, and then the mom's is yellow, obviously. And I would say the teen daughter, her second favorite would probably be yellow, so she really doesn't mind the whole yellow vibe going on. As far as the teens' interests go, I was not original on that at all. I used the Comfy Gamer kit a lot in this bedroom, as you could probably tell. She's a huge Sims fan, and as far as these posters, I thought it was such a cute idea to do the Sims 1, 2, and 3 all in a line. Honestly, I want that for my office, okay? I think that is such a cute idea. And I don't know, I might look into that a little bit. I think it's so cute. I love the bookshelf, and I love the Sims 2, or well, the Sims 1, 2, and 3 posters on top of it. I think it's perfect. And it works perfectly for her side gig, or if you can call it that, when she goes to school during the day, but when she gets home, if she's not with her friends, she hops on to her computer and she streams The Sims. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3, hence the 1, 2, and 3 poster in the background. I do want to note this jewelry box right here actually was given to her from her mom, and her mom got it from her mom, and then her mom got it from her mom. So that is actually her great grandmother's jewelry box that has been passed down through the generations. And of course, when the teen does grow up to an adult and she has her own child, she is going to give it to her own child, whether it's a boy or girl, doesn't matter. Boys can have jewelry boxes too, okay? And then it will just keep going on through the generations. I think that is such a cute idea, to be honest. And I wish I had a jewelry box from my great grandma and I could pass it down to my child, but you know, I don't, so. It is a cute idea though. But yeah, back to the teen's interests. She does, you know, her favorite thing to do is playing The Sims and streaming The Sims when she gets home from school. Other than that, she loves hanging out with her friends. Like, she absolutely adores her friends. They are the best friends a girl could ask for, to be honest. They are so close. She's been friends with them since they were younger. They've been through grade school together. Now they're going through high school together, and prom is actually coming up, and they are just gonna go as a group of friends instead of having dates. You know, unless she gets asked. No, I'm just joking. She's going with her friends. It's all about her and her friends this prom, and this is actually the first prom she's going to be attending, and so she's looking forward to it so much, as you could probably imagine. And she also has like another random hobby. She has a telescope, and that's the only thing back here on the back porch actually, and she loves coming out here when it's late at night and just looking at the stars and the planets and maybe do some UFO searching, and she just loves it for some reason. Like, she's not even, you know, a fan of science or anything, but she does just love observing the stars. She actually was given like 500 simoleons for finding a new planet, so that's pretty interesting. I guess you could kind of call that a side gig too, which that is actually a feature of the game. You guys probably already know that. The telescope, if you observe the sky with the telescope, you can find new planets and new stars, and then your Sims will be awarded some money. So that's kind of a good little tidbit there. If you did not know, you know now. But yeah, that is all I have for the story of the Sims that live in that townhouse. I actually kind of went in depth with that story. That's like the most in depth I've gone with a story of a build yet, to be honest, and it was kind of fun. Let me know down in the comments if you did enjoy that story and if you would like me to include more stories like that in my builds, like an actual story and not just describing the Sims that live there, because I'll do that more often. It was actually pretty fun. But anyways, we have completely furnished the inside of that apartment. I am doing the backyard now. As you could probably tell, I did put some for rent signs in front of each of the townhouses. I probably am going to remove the one that's in front of this yellow one though, because you know, it's kind of already taken. We have some Sims that live here, so it makes more sense if the empty ones have the for sale signs. But we are decorating the backyard. I do put some chairs here on this back porch and then a little bit of a table. I do have to play around with it here in just a minute. I have my Sim. Yeah, I cut that part out. You didn't need to see it. But all I did was play test it to see if my Sim could go around it, and she had a little bit of a hard time, so I ended up having to edit the dining chairs, and I took one away, and so there's only 3 there now, and it's kind of up against the wall and catty-cornered. I probably should have included it. You might see it here in a minute, but if not, you'll see it when you download it. And I also put some gardening pots out there for any sort of flowers that you might want to plant, or maybe some fruits or veggies or whatever. You could remove it too if you don't want it at all. And then I put some lights out there, of course. I love those lights. I should have put a radio, to be honest, because, you know, there is a teen that lives here and I feel like she would love to go outside with her friends and listen to music. I also put some of these mailboxes right next to the front front door, like the wall hung mailboxes, instead of just the ones out front. And then I also put some numbers above each of the mailboxes. I love doing that. It makes it look so realistic. And I put the dumpsters in the back, of course, and I also put some benches on the side of the building where the sidewalk is. I thought it was a cute idea to add some public benches there so that the residents of the townhouses maybe could hang out there and get to know their neighbors. But we have reached the end of today's build. I really hope you enjoyed today's build as much as I did. Of course, if you did, leave a like on this video so that I know to create more townhouses just like this one, and also subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below what your favorite part of today's build is. I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys!